Hello, good day. Good morning, and we are here again with our lesson on taxation. We are now on our seventh series. It's a computation on income tax here in the Philippines. So our learn so let's proceed, and our learning objective for this topic is number one, to be able to know what are the rate of income here in the Philippines, because there are various rate for income tax. Number two, to be able to differentiate income tax of compensation earner and business tax. And then number three, to be able to know how to compute for tax purposes. So let's go. So here in the Philippines, we have three preferential rates. So number one, income subject to itemized deduction. So these are our gross income less all the deductions supported by receipts. That's why it was called itemized. So meaning, isa-isahin mo kung ano yung mga expenses mo, and normally, ito jot down mo or ito total mo para maklaim mo lahat. Like for example, the cost of goods sold, ano ba yung mga under sa cost of goods sold, yung transportations, yung purchases, yung transportation in, yung mga finished goods, inventories, and so on and so forth. Next, for the itemized, you also have all the itemized given by the BIR, like the fuel, taxes and license. But take note, the taxes and license does not include your income tax. So usually, ang under lang sa taxes and license natin, ito yung mga business permit, the privilege tax, which is your VAT or your input tax, or your percentage tax. The oil and fuel, so yung mga oils na nilalagay sa sakyan, tsaka yung fuel, the toll fee, transportation, the utility, which is your light, and then your water, or anything that's bill. Like for example, as YouTuber, yung mga internet, the electricity for the computer, the depreciations of the computer, or anything that are related to the business. No, we also have the income tax subject to optional standard deduction. If you think that the cost of the things that you were deducting is quite so small, so optional standard deduction. Optional standard deduction give a leeway, meaning you are allowed to deduct 40% as your cost of sales. So that hindi mo na kailangan maghanap ng mga resibo. Mostly ginagamit to kapag rental income. Siyempre, kung rental income ka lang, walang masyadong resibo kasi depreciation lang. Kung exhaust mo na yung buong depreciation, pwede mo ipasok si optional standard deduction. So this is 40% of the gross receipts. Next, you also have the gross income subject to 8%. So, si gross income subject to 8%, wini-waive naman ito na mag-file ka pa ng income tax. So, isa na lang i-file mo for your business and income tax. So, normally, parang magkasama na dyan si percentage at saka yung income tax purposes na para kay government. So, yung mga yun, yung mga tax rate na binibigay here in the Philippines. So, let's compute. So, scenario 1, Adolf was an employee of a tech company in the Philippines, earning 60,000 monthly. So, employee siya. So, meaning ang tatanggap niya was employee compensation plus rice allowance of 1.5 per month, 13 and 14 month amounting to 120,000, and a medical benefit of 12,000 yearly. So, let's compute. Let's compute an annualized income. Annualized income kasi compensation siya. Kung makikita nyo, empleyado siya. So, check natin, ano-ano ba yung mga income na i-subject natin. So, we need to have the salary. So, basic salary, it's 12 months times 60,000. So, therefore, we have 720,000. Yun yung annual na nakikinita niya. Next, check din natin yung de minimis kasi meron siyang rice allowance. Pero sabi natin, sa de minimis natin, rice allowance is 1.5 or 1 sacks of rice. So, since 1.5, pasok siya sa de minimis. So, hindi na yun kasama sa annual. Pero isasama natin yan sa report as income tax na taxable as we go on with our 2316. Next, we also have the medical benefit ceiling 60,000. Take note, sabi nila, the actual medical benefit should only be 10,000. Pero ang nabigay sa kanya was 12,000. So, therefore, merong additional 2,000 na masasubject sa tax. Okay? Tapos, you go over with the de minimis benefit para kung ano yung susobra doon, isasama natin. So, dito, yung medical benefit niya sumobra ng 2,000 kasi 12,000. Pero 10,000 lang yung pwede. Then, we also have the 13-month pay, 60,000, and then the 14-month pay, 60,000. Sabi ni de minimis benefit, tsaka sabi ni train law, all bonuses and benefits in excess of the de minimis should now be subject to ceiling of 90,000. And any in excess of the ceiling, yun lang yung taxable. So, all in all, ang na-receive niya additional allowance pwera dun sa compensation niya was 122,000. So, 122,000 less than 90,000 ceiling. So, therefore, meron kang additional 32,000 that is still the taxable. So, we deduct 720,000 plus 32,000. So, we therefore be able to get the taxable income of 752,000. Okay? So, 752,000, ito na ngayon yung taxable income natin na isa-subject natin sa tax. Pero take note, kukumpita natin, meron siyang mga deduction. So, let's see. So, we have now the taxable income natin, 752,000. So, ano yung mga deduction niya? Si SSS, pwede tayong mag-refer dun sa table. May ipapakita ko sa inyo. Makikita nyo na 1,125. But take note, this is for a month. Si PhilHealth, it's 3% of the gross divided, shared equally by the employee and the employer. So, 1,050. And then, the Pag-ibig, it's 100 per month. Di pa siya tumaas eh. So, i-add natin siya. We have 2,275. Pero this is annualized. We multiply it by 12. So, therefore, yung mandatory deduction niya, it's 27,300. So, 752,000 taxable income, we deduct the 27,300. So, therefore, we will be able to have a net taxable income of 724,700. So, ito na yung itatax natin. Na-check natin dun sa table. So, see, 724,700, mas mataas siya sa 400. So, si first 400, ang tax niya was 30,000. In excess, become now 25,000. So, i-compute na natin. So, the 400, it's 30,000. Yung different na 324,700 subject to 25%. So, that is 81,175 pesos. So, yung total tax due na dapat ibigay sa BIR was 111,175,000. Yan yung tax due. But take note, minsan kasi, every month may tinatanggal sa atin. Ang tawag natin doon is withholding tax. Or halimbawa, nag-service ka sa iba, pinag-withheld din. Di ba naalala nyo doon sa previous lecture natin on deduction, nakalagay subject to withholding tax. And take note, all withholding tax supported by 2307. So, yun yung mga nag-work ka lang as subcontractor or contractor or business owner, pwedeng mag-withhold yung government or any authorized withholding agent of the government to deduct under 2307. Yun ay creditable withholding at saka yung 2316. So, pag sinum up mo yun, pwede mo yung i-deduct dito sa total tax due mo. And whatever the difference between your withholding tax coming from the government or private institution or your employer could now be deducted to the tax due. And then, yung difference, yun lang yung i-remit mo kay BIR. But take note, hindi kasi lahat nagpa-file ng annualized. Like for example, if you are earning purely compensation income, hindi mo na kailangan mag-file ng ITR, hindi kagaya dati, at saka sa ibang bansa na kailangan nila mag-file. Dito sa Philippines, tinanggal na yun ng government kasi kung kunyari, ay, isa ka lang naman na employee or you are subject to the private entity is subject to a yearly reporting of all the withholding and all the compensation income that they had withhold to their employee. So, because of this, dahil sinasabit naman yun ng mga employer kay BIR, hindi na kailangan mag-submit ng ITR yung mga empleyado. Pero, kapag dalawa yung business mo, halimbawa, you are a YouTuber, dinidedakan ka ng tax, empleyado ka, so, kailangan mo pa rin mag-file kasi hindi siya nakakompleto. Unless, nire-report mo dun sa isang entity mo lahat ng income mo. Okay? So, kailangan kasi, ang gusto ni government, si tax due siya kasi tax withheld 0. So, di ka na magre-remit. Okay? So, let's proceed. Next, so, ito yung SSS contribution. Ito yung bago, 2021. So, if you check above si 60,000, kaya ang kinuha natin is si 125. Next, we also have, this one is the premium now for the PhilHealth. Medyo malaki, no? So, for 2021, we had 3.5 in excess of, yan, 60,000. So, 60,000 times 3.5, that's 2,700. We divide it kasi dalawa sila, the employee and the employer. So, yun yung inilagay natin. Next, so, scenario to. Scenario 2, adult was a programmer who owned a tech company in the Philippines earning 60,000 with the following expenses. So, ito yung mga expenses niya. So, cost of sales, 30% of the gross receipt, advertising and promotion, 30,000. That's for the year. depreciation 1,500 monthly, utilities expense 800 monthly, and representation expense 5,000 monthly. So, let's compute. Assuming, take note, ang ginamit niya dito, optional standard deduction. So, dito natin kailangan yung second information. Kailangan na lang natin, yung 12 months times 60,000. So, that's 720,000. And then, yung cost niya, kasi sabi natin, ang gagamitin niya optional standard deduction, which is 40% of the gross receipts. So, we deduct 40% of 720,000, which is 288,000. So, yung taxable income na lang natin is 432,000. So, ito na yung tax. So, si 432,000, dun pa rin siya magfo-fall. Kung mapapansin mo, it's above 400. So, first 400, 30,000. And then, the difference of the 400 is 32,000. 32,000 subject to 25%. That's 8,000. So, yung total tax dun niya is only 38,000. Okay? Okay, so let's have now scenario 3. So sa scenario 3, kung mapapansin mo, Adolf was a programmer who owned a tech company in the Philippines earning 60,000 with the following expenses. So dito, business niya yung programming. So yung cost of sales niya is 30% of the gross receipt, advertising and promotion 30,000, depreciation 1,500 monthly, utilities expense 8,000 monthly, and representation expense of 5,000 monthly. So let's compute. So, mapasin mo, 12,000 for the sales. So, 60,000 times 12, it's 720,000. Yung cost niya, 30%, sabi natin. So, that's 216,000. So, yung taxable income niya, 504. Since itemized deduction yung ginamit niya, so, pwede natin i-claim lahat. Yung advertising and promotion na 30,000. Depreciation, 1,500 times 12. So, that's 18. Utilities, 8,000 times 12. So, that's 96,000. Representation expense 60,000 pero may limit 60,000 or 1% of the gross receipt since gross receipt siya. Pero kung sales siya or may binibenta siya, hindi service, that's 0.5%. And 1% of 60,000 is what? So let's compute. So 60,000, 1% ng gross receipt, 720. So 72. So 72, yun lang yung gagamitin natin, hindi yung 60,000 kasi 72 or 60,000, whichever is lower kasi yun yung ceiling. Hanggang dun lang yung pwede natin. So, let's compute now. So, yung total natin or dun sa itemized deduction, we have 30, 18, 96, and 72. That's 151,200. So, therefore, yung net taxable income natin is 352,800. So, ito na yung isa-subject natin ngayon sa ating. So, take note, we have taxable income, 504. Yung deductions natin coming from the itemized kasi ito, net profit na siya or gross profit. So, taxable deduction, it's 151,200. So, therefore, we have the net taxable income of 352,800. Sabi natin, first 250 is zero VAT under train law. So, the first 250 is 0. So, yung isa-subject lang natin, yung excess sa 250. That's 102,800 times 20%. So, that's 20,560. So, yung total tax due na babayaran natin ngayon is only 20,560. Although, same pa rin. Kung meron kang mga withholding or deduction, pwede mo siyang i-deduct. Paano kung nag-negative? Kung nag-negative, pwede kang mag-apply kay government ng tax credit. Medyo mahirap nga lang siyang i-apply kasi ang nangyayari sa tax credit, i-audit ka pa. Okay? So, last is the scenario 4. Paano kung same pa din? Kaya lang this time, ang inoop niya 8%. So, kunin lang natin yung gross. So, 12 times 60,720, then 8%, that is 57,600. So, ito na ngayon yung magiging tax due niya for the year. Kaya lang ito kasing 8% monthly siya. So, hindi ka na rin magpa-file ng income tax. Okay?
Others. Okay? So, yung mga yun, tax deductible din siya. So, pwede natin siyang i-deduct sa ating income tax. Okay? So, yun po siya. If you have questions, and the computation would follow on our next video. Okay? Bye! If you like this video, please help me reach out more people by hitting the subscribe and the like button below. God bless you all, and you have questions, just comment it. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Bye-bye. Have a good day.